He called child services on me and reported that I had a crackhead staying in my house. There was heroin pipes, crack pipes in my home. This man found a crackhead on the street, got him to fix the roof. He fell through my roof, through my ceiling, okay?
As I was taking a left turn, driving, I got hit really bad in the left, then the right, and I went back and forward, and then next thing I know, two of us collided. I've never seen her, met her, talked to her, have anything to do with her.
Plaintiff Anthony Liguori claims the defendant tore up his apartment and didn't pay rent or utilities. He's suing for $3,000. Defendant Jasmin Coleman says the plaintiff is a slumlord who harassed her and tore holes in her ceiling. She says she owes nothing.
About to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah. Yes.
It's case number 129 on the docket, Liguori versus Coleman.
Okay, thanks, Najee.
You're welcome, Judge.
And welcome to all of you here. Mr. Liguori, you are suing the defendant, Ms. Coleman, for $3,000 for unpaid rent, utilities, and damage to a mailbox. What's the story?
For 9 months and counting,
Yes.
I've been having to deal with Jasmin here, who's been nothing but a liar, been nothing but ignorant, and nothing but ghetto trash.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not be calling people ghetto trash. Okay, go ahead. But you're upset with her.
Yes, very much so.
I could tell.
I met Jasmin about 9 months ago. Me and my girlfriend, we bought an investment property, and Jasmin contacted me about the listing. She brought her kids with her, and she told me how she was thrown out of her house by her boyfriend.
Husband.
Okay, and he was living in a shelter, and she needed to get out of there with her kids. So me being a nice guy, I wasn't crazy about the program, but I gave her a chance. I told her that the utility bills were going to be split between her and the first floor. The reason for that is when I bought the house, the previous owner told me that a crackhead had took the electric meters.
That's still illegal, connecting lines, but continue.
3 or 4 months after she agreed to pay the utility bills, she was paying it. About the 4th or 5th month, the winter months, the bill got higher.
Yep.
I told Jasmin, hey Jasmin, the bill's $500. Your portion is $250. She told me, well, we agreed to only paying you $125, so guess what?
How could you connect the whole house of lines and then tell me I'm responsible for $275 when I'm not home during the day, no one's in my house?
How many months did you pay the $125?
6 months. That's
Oh,
what it was
so for
supposed to be.
6 months, you paid the $125.
Yeah.
Right.
Why did you say that after the 6 months you weren't going to pay anymore?
Because my term of having a temporary rental assistant, it was for 6 months. Of course, the 6 months for them to pay it. So
Yes.
after my 6 months up, I was going to pick up the rent.
Right.
Being only if he was able to lower the rent, because it was $1,300 and I didn't have $1,300 to pay. So me and him had spoke about him lessening the rent just until June for my kids to finish school out, and then from there I would just move out.
And you said?
Never gave an answer. He never gave a yes or no.
Okay.
I have documentations telling her no. Your
Okay,
Honor,
so you told her no on that?
I told her absolutely not because she already beat me for 3 or 4 months out of the utility bill.
But you just said
And
for 6 months I paid you the utility
this is after
bill.
the 6 months.
Now she wants to stay longer. In other words, have a new lease. She can't afford the $1,350. You said too bad, but you settled on something.
She lived out her security deposit the following month.
So she's supposed to be out at the end of March if she's living off the security deposit. So the only thing that hasn't been paid is April and May.
Yes.
So your lawsuit is based on the 2 months and what you say she would also owe for what is over $125 a month on the electric bill.
And the property damage.
And what's the property damage?
Your Honor, out of spite, this woman wrote in black magic marker on her mailbox her last name in big
Yes,
bold letters.
and he removed my name off the mailbox in February for no reason. If we agreed that I was leaving at the end of this month, why 2 months ago are you removing my
There's
name?
no proof that I removed that sticker.
You're saying you didn't, you're under
He
oath.
removed
You didn't
it.
remove that sticker.
I did not remove that
I'm
sticker.
not saying she had a right to write the Coleman on there, but,
I did not remove no, there was no sticker right there.
well, I see something
It was, exactly. We put the thing there when we first
That
moved
was,
there.
that was from the previous owner.
He's a liar.
Previous
That's
tenant.
a lie.
I never
That's a
removed the
lie.
sticker from right there.
You removed the sticker, so
did
I
not.
politely wrote my name on there. Thank you
Politely,
very much.
okay.
Okay. So what's in dispute now are the months that you stayed there. He's saying, and he's right, for while you're staying there, you would owe rent. Whether you wound up signing a new lease or not, which you didn't, but in any event, if you're staying in the property, he has every right to say, while you're staying there,
Right. And the reason why I did not move is because in the midst of us going back and forth in March, he called child services on me and reported that I had a crackhead staying in my house. There was heroin pipes, crack pipes in my home. And my whole thing is that you did all of that because I didn't move. That's jeopardizing my kids, okay?
When we first met, she told me her kids are asthmatic.
Yep.
So
Asthmatic? What
why
do
would she
asthmatic-
allow?
First of all,
junkies-
my kids are not asthmatic. That's a whole lie.
Why would she allow
I cou-
junkies to be living there,
Who's
sleeping
a
on
junkie?
the floor, smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, and then have drug
well,
paraphernalia
how
on the
did you?
floor?
How
My
did we
whole
know
thing is-
this? Whoa, we can't just say things.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
did you know? I'm not saying she didn't.
Because he came in my
I
home
personally-
unattended, and my uncle was there. My
Right.
uncle is not a crackhead, and he does not live with me. He was not welcome into my home. He did not get the permission to come into my home.
I told her you can live out the security
But what's that
deposit
gotta do
if
with
you
you?
allow me to show the apartment for a new tenant without giving me a hard time. And every time I showed the apartment, I always text her, Jasmin, is okay? She told me, yeah, it's okay. I got family over, but you can come over. So as I'm showing the apartment, see writing all over the wall, door ripped off the one bedroom.
This man found
That
a
apartment
crackhead
was immaculate.
this man found a crackhead on the street, got him to fix the roof. The man fixing the roof, he fell through my roof, through my ceiling, okay? And then there was a hole in my
There
ceiling.
was a hole in your ceiling while you were living there.
While me and my kids were in the room, he hired someone to fix the leak, right? So we're all in the room, we hear boom, 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 boom. So my kids come running in the room like, Mom. I go, look, the man that's fixing the roof fell through my ceiling in the kitchen. Okay, all right, let me explain the rest. This man comes and puts a cardboard up here, right? So now, for the whole month of October, leaking rain, my daughter then slipped and fell. I gotta put buckets and everything because he can't afford an actual person to properly do a job. That's a slumlord. The fourth day I'm there, I'm sitting there, I see a mouse, boom, okay, not one, boom, another one. My kids pouring cereal, it's ants coming out the box. That's disgusting.
You have to pay your rent, bottom line.
Your major argument in saying that you wanted to be able to show that place so you could rent it to someone else. You're in a business. I totally understand that. But in reality, to rent that apartment, the first month, you're going to have to fix it up anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that getting that place ready for someone to really want to rent it and pay $13.50 a month is going to take a month anyway to get that all done. So I'm going to say of the 2 months that she was there, you would have only been able to rent it for one. So I'm going to give you that 1 month's rent. On the unpaid utilities, again, I'm going to do it for 5 months instead of the 6 extra. So the 5 months at 125 is, what, 625? Smarty pants. Therefore, it would be $19.75. And the $50 mailbox, I'm splitting the difference. For $25, you can get a magic marker eraser.
Yes.
So that would be then $19.75 would make it exactly $2,000. So he's suing you for $3,000, and I'm going to fine for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000.
The damages were more than $3,000. You know, she claims that with the whole roof, the guy fell through the roof, and I fixed all that, you know, the same day. I paid that individual $1,000 to fix the roof. So, you know, I'm out so many thousands, you know, I've already lost track.
He called child services, and as a man and as a landlord or whatever, I just don't feel that was the right thing to do. The judge is absolutely right. You're not supposed to stay anywhere rent-free. But once again, when things get personal and you hit below the belt and you do certain things, you gotta take the things that come with it.
Plaintiff, Christine Soininen, claims the defendant crashed into her car and didn't have insurance to cover it. She's suing for $1,950. Defendant Tabytha Driggers claims she's never seen the plaintiff, and she's not the one who hit her car. So she doesn't know the plaintiff anything.
The testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
It's case number 148 on the docket, Soininen versus Driggers.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge.
Welcome to both of you. The plaintiff, you are suing the defendant, Ms. Driggers, for $1,950 for car damage. Why don't you tell me your case?
Well, if we could bring up the diagram.
Let's look at this one over
This,
here.
okay.
Just, yeah.
I'm at a stoplight. This is a four-way lighted intersection.
Yes.
I was at a stoplight, ready to make a left-hand turn, just waiting for the light to change.
And here they come.
Okay, here they
All
come.
right.
So
Wait, you were, wait, okay. Ooh, ow. Everyone okay? Good. Let's run that again. So you were going to turn this way. You were going to
So
turn
I was
left.
going to turn left heading
Oh,
east.
okay.
So this is oncoming traffic,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
45 to 50 miles an hour
Oh,
is the
okay.
speed. Both directions had a green light. Of course, the left-hand turns are proceed with caution,
Right.
yellow flashing arrows. So I was probably a classic case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, just parked here at a red light.
So the defendant was making this
She was
left-hand
making
turn.
the
but
left-hand
should have-
turn.
You're saying should have waited for this car to go through.
Exactly.
And because not, the defendant was hit.
Yep.
And the defendant was hit into your car.
Well, both vehicles collided, spun around, and then
Pushed the
oddly
defendant
enough,
into yours.
backed, yeah.
Okay, and so you weren't moving. You were just
I was
standing at a...
stopped, yes.
All right. And your car received damage?
So, yes, so my car was damaged. What I am suing for is, well, the vehicles had to be towed at the scene.
Yes.
I was probably about three blocks from home that
Yeah.
evening. After they pried the vehicles apart, mine was still drivable, so I drove away. The other two vehicles,
Were not.
airbags deployed, were not.
No.
Getting a rental car was hard, and then the vehicle was in the shop for over 3 weeks. So my, what I'm suing for is the out-of-pocket expense for
Do
the
you have
rental
the receipts?
car. I most certainly do.
Okay, if I could see
I should
those.
probably back up because part of the issue here is the defendant was uninsured at the time.
Okay.
So the police were called to the scene, a traffic report was issued. She was cited for failure to yield at the left-hand turn, and then also cited later for failure to have proof of insurance.
May I see the
Yep, so
police
there's the
report?
receipts for the,
You have the police report as well?
I do, there's 2 separate receipts for rental car and for the repairs showing my deductible, and then there's the police report.
There you are, Judge.
All right, let me look at this for a second. Are you disputing how this all happened?
Well, first off,
Tell
Your
me
Honor,
your
I just
story.
want to tell my side of the story.
Sure.
So there was a blizzard out. The weather
Yes.
was very bad. It was snowing, sleet, a lot of snow, a lot of black
Sure.
ice.
Yep.
And I didn't want to go to work, but unfortunately I had to. I work at Green Mill, which is a restaurant and bar. It's very busy.
Yeah.
So I had to go to work, and as I was taking a left turn, driving, proceeding with caution, turned left. I got hit really bad in the left, then the right, and I went back and forward, and then next thing I know, 2 of us collided. But at the scene of the accident, I've never seen her, met her, talked to her, have anything to do with her. I didn't know she was involved. All I know that it was me.
So when you were at the accident, you knew obviously that you had been hit.
So as I was driving and making a left turn, I was going about 5 miles an hour. I proceeded with caution. There was a lot of slush and ice, black ice built up on
Yeah.
the roads because it was very bad. And because of my tires, I just got stuck in the slush, and I was going like 5 miles an hour, trying my best to go. As I got stuck, I floored it, was trying to get out of there, and we just hit.
This other car hit you.
Yes, correct.
And you're saying you never hit another car?
No, because
Okay.
she wasn't involved at the scene of the crime at all.
Well, according to the police report, there was a third car. It was hers.
Me and the gentleman that got hit, he contacted the police. They did a report. I got a citation. We communicated and everything. I've never seen her, heard of her, or anything until I got the police report. But as you can see, even on here, we both have gray cars.
Okay,
So who's to say who hit her car?
I would also like to dispute the weather conditions at the time. There was no snow. The roads were completely dry. I have a copy of the weather report, which states it was like
Okay.
30 below. And I also have pictures from the accident scene, and you can see in the pictures, there's no snow.
Okay, but here's
There is
the
no-
argument. Okay, what I'm saying is before we continue with this discussion is irrelevant. And the reason it's irrelevant is there is no question that the other driver had the right of way. So between her, the defendant, and the other driver, she's responsible for that. And so whether it was the weather was great, the weather was bad, the other car had the right of way, she was in that intersection, she gets the ticket anyway.
Right.
So that it doesn't matter if the weather was good or bad. The only issue that this case is about is whether in that accident, which she was responsible for, because her car was hit, and here's the damage report, and here's the police
Yes.
report. I guess your only defense is it wasn't you that hit her, some other car came and hit her.
Correct,
But
Your
the
Honor.
police were...
It could have been my car, it could have been their car, or who's to say her damages weren't already there and she saw an opportunity to get some extra money?
The fact is, the
Yes.
police report is indicating that you hit her car. You were
Wouldn't
pushed
it be
into
both-
it.
Wouldn't it be both cars?
Well, it might be
Who's
she's
to
not...
say it was mine or them? We both
Your
have two
Honor.
gray cars colliding together.
You caused an accident which resulted in her car being hit. It's just like in a chain reaction.
Your Honor.
If one car hits the car number two, which drives car number two into car number three, car number one is responsible for the damage to car number three, even though one wasn't the one that hit three. Two was the one that hit three. In other words, you caused an accident, one of your two cars hit her car. Since you caused the accident, you are held responsible. Now,
I might have some more pictures that might back up.
I'd like to see pictures.
Okay. Here is a picture from the police, and then there's just some additional pictures to my vehicle.
And these pictures were taken at the scene of the accident?
Yes, they were. And so that one with the 3 vehicles in it, that's directly from the police, which that's the final resting place after the accident.
So there's just no question. It doesn't matter even if it was the other car in the accident that hit her car. The fact is, in this instance, though you weren't trying to do anything bad, you
course
just
not.
were making a turn. It wasn't done on purpose, but the other car had a right of way. That caused the accident. That caused that car hitting you. So either one of your two cars that hit the plaintiff's car, that puts you responsible because you were the one that caused the accident. You sued her for $1,950, and the $1,950 comes about because, finish my sentence.
From my insurance deductible, because that's the major problem here. She
Okay,
was an uninsured motorist.
Okay,
So I had to pay my insurance deductible for the repairs.
which
and
was
then
how much?
$500.
Yep,
And then roughly $1,400 for a rental car about 3.5 weeks while my car was being repaired.
okay, and that comes to $1,950. I find for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,950.
The police report had all the evidence that was necessary, so she changed her story a little bit.
I'm a single mom, 2 kids, time's hard, you gotta get to work, Unfortunately, the weather being bad, you do as best as you can as far as driving, and unfortunately, some bad things happen.
Thanks for watching. Now please approach the bench. The way I look at it, you have 2 options here. Option A, watch more Judge Jerry. Option B, watch more Jerry Springer. The choice is yours. Now get out of my courtroom. You have more clips to watch. And don't forget to subscribe.